Bahala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatawa, Brakatawa Shai, Brakatawa, Brakatawa Shai, Brakatawa, Brakatawa Shai, the water, Abba, Baba, Ka Kadash. I like to give them honors to the elders apostles, a great millstone that teaches truth, 100% truth. Do an early morning lesson. It's going to be been putting together this morning, watching a couple other brothers' videos, and it kind of inspired me to do this lesson. And one was GMS Dallas. They was doing a live camp. I think it was pre-recorded. And can't think of the young brother name in that group, but he brought out some precepts and that kind of hit to this lesson I wanted to work on. And he was talking about, before, we was all wicked before we came into this truth. And it's almost like being on drugs, when you be on drugs and you're getting cleaned up, and you're getting those drugs out of your system, so to speak. And so I said, man, that'd be perfect to put a lesson on, because when you come in this truth, it's like cleaning out your system. You gotta reboot everything. Everything has to be reorganized within your system, because you've been corrupted in this world when we were born in this world. And I was just finished watching another brother from GMS Kingdom Minded, and it's through the spirit, because all these things kind of line up. And he was talking about Israel, Judah and Israel, how we went off and we displeased the Most High, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And by displeasing the Lord, man, he pretty much took his hands off of us. And then that kind of took me back to, I remember some the movies in the 70s, those can't even work my tongue this morning, those exploitation movies, in the 70s, where they exploited our demise, our degeneracy in those movies, And it might have been one where the Mac, or either was coffee, I can't recall which one. And we're like it's all, the women of Israel, and they're out there, whoring their bodies. And I think it was the one scene where one of the women's on drugs. It might have been it might have been the Mahogany movie, I can't remember, but one of the women was on heroin, and she needed her man to bring, she was going through her withdrawals, And part of that withdrawal process, she was struggling, and she needed a man to help her. And I kind of equate that to Israel, when you come into this truth, your body's been full of all type of toxic, can't even say the word, toxicity, if I'm saying it right, from all the chemicals, the barrage of chemicals, the things that we've been eating, the barrage of misinformation, everything that we've been taught and been poured upon us has corrupted us. And then I'm thinking back now, hopefully this makes sense. I'm kind of all over the place a little bit, trying to put everything together to paint this picture. But like I say, on one of my in transit videos, I sat in front of the store and I saw a woman walking the door in. The woman was all old, grotesque, and out of shape, but she had a little daughter with her. She was walking with a little daughter. The daughter looked, they look innocent at that age. But being in this society, man, you're going to get affected. You're going to get corrupted, not only through the food, but through the propaganda, through the media. All these things are going to corrupt that young child, man, and they're going to be intoxicated, man, grossly intoxicated. The whole body is going to be corrupted. All form of toxins is going to be all in that child, man. It's going to be destroyed by the time she gets into her adult years. And that's how it is for us, man, being in Israel, man. We've been in this system so long and been corrupted, and mind's been polluted and destroyed, And then once we got this truth, it has to go through a cleaning out process, a purging process, a detoxification process. And like I say, when we're doing our bodies, you know, in this truth, because we got to take care of our temple, so we have to detoxify our bodies, man. And sometimes we go through a fast and we get those teas where we detox the body to get all the corruptible things out of us, to try to clean our system. And that same way with this spiritual truth, because in order to purge out the old, in order to bring in the new, you have to purge out the old, man. You have to get rid of all that old garbage out of your spirit and bring in this new spirit, man, of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And that spirit, you know, is coming in through these laws, statutes, and commandments that we've neglected for so long, because in the society, they tell you don't have to really abide by the laws, you know. You can do whatever the hell you want to in the society because it caters to your flesh. But, and so when you come into this truth, it's like going through withdrawals, you know. Your flesh would desire to go back to its old pleasures, you know, hanging out with your old friends, you know, dealing with the old type of women you was dealing with, hanging out in the clubs, you know, going to different events like Bike Week and, you know, shit of that nature that really was destroying you as a whole. It was keeping you embodied in sin. It was actually destroying your body, your physical body, through your spiritual body. And so the Lord we have to go through a purging process, and only the elect is going to be able to, and the 1/3, you know, the elect and the 1/3 is going to be able to go through this process. The 2/3 is not going to be able to go through it because they're going to give in to their flesh. And so, you know, that purging, like say and I remember in the 70s, and I don't want to go too long on this because I want to jump into my precepts too. But I remember back in the 70s, you know, I was a young kid at that time, but I remember some family members that were on that heroin. And we got on that heroin, man, you know, this was before the crack epidemic. And them being on that heroin, in order for them to come off, you know, their body would start fiending for that. Their body would start shutting down because it's fiending for that another fix. And I had guys I worked with, man, that in order for them to work, they couldn't even do anything. Their body was shut down until they got another fix. And that's the same way it is, man. These stumbling blocks in this truth, that pull a lot of jakes back into the world. You know, they can't go through the purging process. They can't go through the process of withdrawals. You know, they can't deal with the withdrawals, you know, when your body's fiending back for them pleasures, them same pleasures again. And that same way with the crack, you know, seeing the crack come in, how I destroyed a lot of my friends and family, you know. And, you know, you talk with them, they're doing good, you know, and they're on the road to recovery. And next thing you know, it's a relapse, right back into it again, man. And, you know, it don't take much of a stumbling block to lead you know, our people back into it. You can be just hanging out, having a couple of beers, and they right back to an all-night binge, you know, geeking on that crack, you know, on crack all night, you know. All night, you know, and next thing you know, it becomes a week-long purge, you know, a week-long binge, and they got to go through the whole purging process all over again, you know. So it's never ending. And all these are designed by Esau, you know, they push these drugs on our people. But, you know, that's a good example of what our people have been going through. And like I said, that crack fiend, you know, the women, forget what one of the movies might have been Mahogany, man, but once she got cleaned up and got back in her right mind, you know, she was acceptable. And that's how it is going to be up for us with Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. He's going to find us, you know, acceptable to bring us back into our home, to his home, to our land, you know. Because right now, you know, we as a people, we out here still in the streets, man. We're going through that cleaning out process, man, so we can be invited back home again. And like the brother in GMS Kingdom Minded was saying, you know, we became a whore. You know, we whored after these other nations, and we went after them. Then we got strung out on these drugs and shit, you know, so to speak. And that's their philosophies, man, that destroyed our homes and our families and everything. And look at the state of being that our people are in as a whole. And so we have to get cleaned up, man. And once we get cleaned up and get that beautiful lust back on us again, which the heathens don't want us to get, and he's gonna do everything in his power to do it. So, so the Lord can bring us back home, man. So we got to get cleaned up first, man. And that's part of us getting cleaned up so we can receive those new garments. And the Lord, he equates us like as his bride. That's why I always go back to us being his bride, man. And he's our groom that, we looking for his bride. But let me start with some precepts. All right, with 10 minutes, I haven't hit a precept yet. But Proverbs chapter 25, verse 4 and 5. Take away the dross from thy silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. So we got to get that dross off of us, man. It's just like silver that's refined in the fire, man. All the dross is all the bad metals that need to come out of it so it can be pure silver. And that's what the Lord has to do with us. Us going through our infirmities and Nick, it's going through our infirmities and, our problems and things that we're dealing with here in this world, man. And still holding on to our faith when Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. We holding fast in the fire, man. We not tapping out, We telling Lord, keep us in and get the rest of this dross off of us. It's a purging out process. So it's going through our afflictions and things that we have to deal with. Let me give you a quick definition of withdrawals. Abnormal physical or psychological features that follow the abrupt discontinuation of a drug that has capabilities of producing physical dependence. And a lot of it, because of our bodies being so accustomed to sin and doing, eating abominable foods and, doing all type of adultery and wickedness, we give in and our flesh kind of caters to it. And so now that we're going through this, just like a dope fiend, man, you have to keep yourself away from other dope fiends. And that's the same way it is in this truth. Once you're in this truth, you have to keep yourself away from other sinners, because not you'll relapse right back into the world. Same way, an alcoholic, he can't be around other alcoholics. He can't go to the bar and hang out and think he's gonna watch the and be able to. He can't go to a sports bar and be able to hang out, think he's gonna watch the football game and not gonna have a drink. So you have to mind yourself and watch your surroundings. The same way it is in this truth, as relating to the world, because you put yourself around those people who's doing those things, that you're gonna relapse right back into the situation you was before. Falling out of this truth. The book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 11. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. It's like being on heroin and these other hard drugs, man. A lot of them dope fiends, when they going through those withdrawals, their bodies start to shut down, they start purging, their bodies start throwing up all that excess that's been in them, that's been polluting their system. And that's the same way it is, And then, if he get himself clean and go back out to do it all over again, he's returning back to his old vomit. And that's the same thing, that's what this Bible's talking about. Us in this truth, once we get ourselves clean and we go back and do the same thing again, that's returning to your vomit, man. We fell back into the world. We went back to eating that pork, crabs, lobster, shrimp, all those wicked things that we're not supposed to be doing, those abominable foods that we're not supposed to be eating, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 25. And I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross and take away all thy tin. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 8. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce, Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. And that's where, the northern kingdom went off. They went following the ways of the Syrians, these other gods, like the Syrians. Next thing you know, the Lord allowed her to, you want to be a harlot, so I'm going to kick you out and put you out in the streets. And Judah, seeing what happened to Israel, Judah went and did the same thing. Both northern and the southern kingdom, they went off, man. And so the whole house of Israel was spoiled. And the Lord just kicked us out of our homeland. The book of 2 Kings, chapter 23, verse 27. And the Lord Yahweh said, I will remove Judah also out of my sight, as I have removed Israel. I will cast off the city, Jerusalem, which I have chosen, the house which I said, my name shall be there. So we got that eviction notice, man. The Lord was looking out for us, giving us everything that we wanted, everything that we needed, man. We was above all these other nations. And yet, we still chose to turn our back on the Lord. So the Lord said, you know what? I'm gonna put you out there and let you fend for yourself. Then all these other nations that we were whoring after, they turned on us, man. They turned on us and subdued us and put us in bondage. And now you look at us now, we the laughing stock of the world, man. All these other nations look down on us now. So we can finish off in Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 7 and 9, verse 7 through 9. And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and I will build them as at the first. And I will cleanse them from all their iniquity, whereby they have sinned against me, and I will pardon all their iniquities, whereby they have sinned and whereby they have transgressed against me. Verse 9, and it shall be to me a name of joy, praise, and honor before all nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them. And they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure unto it. So the Lord's going to gather up his elect men of Israel, man, and he's going to put us back in our glory over these other nations again, man. And the Lord's going to receive his glory, and it's going to be true fear of the Lord. And we going through our trials and tribulations now, we know what not to do now, through all the hell and hard bondage that we've gone through, man. We know that what the result of turning our back on the Lord and being a whore. Look at what our women, like the brother was saying in GMS Kingdom Minded, our woman is a clear example of how we were to the Lord. You see our women, especially the Judite women, how they here in Babylon, man. How they worship Esau, Edom, these brads and shit. They worship, they whore after them and being used by Brad, and we can see it, and it hurts, It hurts to see your woman in such a detestable state, man. What she's become from what she used to be. And that's the Lord look at us as Israel as a whole, man. Because as men of Israel, we went off. What we did to the Lord, now the Lord allowed to happen to us. He put these other nations over us. He took our women and used them against us. Now we don't have families, broke up the families, broken up everything that we had, man. So we are totally now, we're defenseless. Like brother was saying, he talked about Emmett Till because he went into Emmett Till, how when Emmett Till was down in Mississippi, and because of that incident, the Edomites came to the house. Even though Emmett Till had uncles and his grandfather was in the house, the Edomites were able to come in there and say, no, they took him out of the house, and they was totally defenseless, nothing they can do. And that's how the Lord left us, man. We're defenseless. We're like worms, man, in the society. He left us bare, and he did it for a purpose, man. So we know that we need the Lord in order to we need the Lord for everything, man. We need Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, for everything that we have, man. And we know to appreciate his glory, man, and the things that we've done next time we go into the kingdom. But that was pretty much it, man. You know, we're going through a purging process. We're going through a cleaning out process. And it's not hard, man. I mean, it's not going to be easy, Shalaka. It's not going to be easy. It's hard, man. When you've been for so many years, been corrupted in your mind, body, and spirit. And the Lord understands that. That's why Yahweh Shai went on the cross for us, man. That's why he bore those stripes on our behalf, you know, that we can be able to go through this process and use him as an example. So yeah, it's not going to be easy, man. And you know, we have to. But one thing we do have, we have the Holy Spirit on us, and that's what's going to guide us through. You know, as long as we keep the faith. So all praise to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. And hopefully this lesson was edifying with that. Say shalom.